AP Thresh MId. A pick that might sound weird at first, since we are playing a supporter on a lane where he is forced to have a solid wave clear and a decent amount of damage. Well, this support surely has a problem clearing the wave, but that can be also seen as an advantage, because Thresh MId has a solid gank setup that can secure your jungler a lot of kills when he makes the right decision and ganks your lane. And since the wave is pushing towards you during the whole laning phase, this should be easily accomplished. The damage part, however, is not a problem at all. When you take a look at these three abilities, you can see that they all have a high AP ratio, allowing Thresh to one-shot them late game in one rotation. And with a specific item and a specific combo, there is a 100% chance to hit your hook, which is quite crucial since otherwise Thresh is going to miss out on some huge burst damage. At level 1, Thresh is going to buy a Doran's Ring and 2 health potions and put his first skill point into the E-spell as fast as possible since we want to charge up the Flay for our first trade. As soon as the wave appears, we want to go in for our first trade, which would be a Flay into auto attack combo. The charged up auto attack will deal a lot of damage, and the additional Flay slow will allow Thresh to slap the enemy once again into his face, proccing the rune Electrocute, which ensures that the first trade will always end up in the favor for this Lantern Man. At level 2, Thresh is going to skill his hook, which has a solid 90% AP ratio, making it our main damage source throughout the whole game, so we want to make sure to hit it on the enemy. But you know that this guy needs some time to throw onto the enemy, and as long we are a Thresh main that can predict the enemy movement, we will have a tough time hitting that spell. The basic combo would be the Flay into hook combo, that ensures him to hit his Q spell since the enemy can't move due to the Flay. But with the purchase of this item called Everfrost, it gets even easier to hit our spells. Just freeze them, hook them, and end the combo with the Flay, enough to deal a solid amount of damage. But there is one big problem when you play Thresh on the mid lane. His wave clear sucks. Luckily, this can be used to our own advantage. Bad wave clear results into a huge minion wave pushing towards us and forces the enemy to increase the range to his own safety zone. And by using the Lantern, Thresh can even freeze the wave without taking any damage, making it easier for our jungler to gank. Additionally to that, Thresh has a really great gank setup with his CC and slows in his kit. But the best part would be the Lantern, which allows him to catapult your jungler right into the enemy face over a huge distance. But that thing can also be really useful during a 1v1 fight, since it provides Thresh with a shield when used and can differ the outcome in a close combat. Collecting solo kills becomes even easier when Thresh reaches level 6 and unlocks his Cage of Death. It stays there for about 5 seconds and it doesn't do much as long as you don't touch the walls. But AP Thresh MId has a trick up on his sleeves to send you ahead into the death zone. When you somehow manage to get right next to the enemy, you activate the cage and send your opponent into the barrier with your Flay. It deals a solid amount of damage, and combined with Everfrost and the hook that is guaranteed to land, you can be sure to collect a solo kill after that. And by collecting the passive souls, your damage increases, just like a Veigar passive but in weak. As simple as that. But most enemies underestimate the damage of your ultimate and just walk through, realizing too late that they won't survive that stupid escape attempt. Later in teamfights you are going to try picking out the hyper carry in order to one-shot him. But don't play like an ordinary support Thresh, since you will die in seconds when just go in. Instead, use your utility by using the lamp, for example, which most people will probably ignore. Peel for your carries, and just try to separate one enemy that you can kill in a 1v1 fight. Max the Q spell first for lower cooldown and more damage, followed by E and last but not least the W spell. Here are the build and runes for AP Thresh MId. And if you are wondering how a Rek'Sai top wins every trade by just farming some minions, click on this video right here.